Questions asked to me while waiting in line to see a superhero movie. Honey, did you know this was based on a graphic novel? Sweetie pie, did your boyfriend drag you here? Cool shirt, I bet the boys love that, am I right? Have you ever even read a comic book? Are you one of those fake geek girls? Quick, what's Superman's birthday? Not the day that Kent's founded, but the day of his Kryptonian birth. They published it in the 1964 volume, which you'd know if you were a real fan. Oh, I'm sorry, is this a lecture or an interrogation? See, tits in a nerd shirt created experience that's half waterboarding, half Jeopardy. You test and torture information out of me, spitting questions like bullets aimed toward the truth of my devotions, and I've got to buzz in correctly, not for a prize, but for self-preservation. One wrong answer, and I've invalidated 31 years of love for Tolkien, Frank Miller, Alan Moore, Neil Gaiman, George Lucas. One wrong answer, and no one will believe I've still got my Ninja Turtle action figures and Ewok pajamas, and I wrote a thesis on why Final Fantasy VII is the most overrated fucking game of all time. Yeah. One wrong answer, and I should sell my spot in line for a few beads or a bottle of whiskey. See, I'm Native American, so it's not new for me, having to justify my presence in a place I have every right to be. I'm Native American, so it's not new for me. There's no novelty left in watching a man defend something he doesn't own, treat me like an invading enemy for simply having the audacity to occupy the space around him. Suddenly you are Christopher Columbus, planting your flag in a fandom that was never yours to begin with, marking me a savage in your new world that I've always been standing in. You, Cortez of comic books, you conquistador of sci-fi, you Pizarro of historical fantasy aren't satisfied with just asserting your ownership. No, you lecture me on the origins of multiverses, pretend to bring my level of culture up while talking me down. I'm just fucking standing here waiting for my goddamn seat as you perform the mental gymnastics to justify my forced conversion from pagan savagery to the religion of your dick insecurity. You educate me, preach, press me, push me down, make my native frame stoop to fit the narrow doorway of your church, use my back like a stepladder and soapbox. It doesn't take Sherlock Holmes to solve this mystery. Fuck, it doesn't take Scooby-Doo to figure out what you really want to say is you don't belong here. And what I really want to say is, bitch, I play Dark Souls, not Candy Crush. I count tauntauns to fall asleep at night, not sheep. That having 87 Star Wars novels doesn't mean I have 87 cats, and even if I did, who gives a goddamn? That I can wear a Star Trek shirt and eyeliner, and I don't have to justify that shit to you. That I'm not into this stuff because of my brothers. My brothers are into this stuff because of me. That I've seen every episode of Dragon Ball Z, but I also saw the Spice Girls movie on opening day, so fuck you if either one diminishes my Greek cred. That fandom is not a wall you build into a safe space, protecting yourself brick by brick from a society of fuckboys who tease you and girls who don't want to date you. That we women have always been here, putting our hands all over the things you now declare your own, not our fault you didn't see the fingerprints. That suddenly our superpowers wore off, the invisibility that let you look right past us, represent us in shitty tropes and big-breasted sidekicks, flat characters and cheesy stereotypes, illustrate us with asses up and tops pulled down, ignore us in merchandise and imagination for decades. You're seeing us for the first time and deciding we're a new inconvenience. Or maybe we weren't invisible after all. Maybe you were just blind. After all, you never saw Barbara Hall, Alice Marble, Ruth Roach, Amber Benson, Jan Dracema, Sarah Pacelli scrawled at the bottoms of books, comic books, and movie screens from 1897 to 2016, but they've been there all along. Since when have conquerors asked for safe spaces from the people they've crushed like the soil of a new world beneath their boot? Since when do kings and armies wall themselves inside their castles, quaking in fear from the same people they've spent a lifetime pretending not to see? Since when do you kill off any chance for a Tank Girl remake, then reconcile it by writing 10 extra minutes of Lois Lane into a shitty movie and offer it to us like a smallpox blanket? You are no conquistador here. You can't reclaim what was never yours. And if you have to erase the contributions of women in nerddom by revising history, maybe blow your assumptions to bits instead and reboot your perspective faster than a fucking Spider-Man franchise. Don't keep pop quizzes tucked in pockets like Pokemon cards, ready to challenge every pair of tits that crosses your path. Stop treating movie theaters and convention floors like a battle arena. You don't need to see my nerd identification. Trust me, I am not the bitch you're looking for. Besides, if you're such a big fan and this is your favorite superhero movie, defending it from fake geek girls like me, like the true nerd Gestapo, why the fuck are you in line behind me?